All right, welcome back. I'm hoping this is going to be part 2 of my video, and yes, I have my gloves on now. We have this engine down in the basement on the stand, and as you can see, I have the timing cover off. So we're going to do some digging to see what kind of history this engine has, and so far it looks good. The timing belt still has writing on it, and he said it was done, so that's good. The water pump wasn't, is according to him. Neither was any of the tensioners or the pulleys. So we'll see what they look like after. We'll take the intake off and all the other piping. Mostly all that we're gonna need for sizes are 10 mils, 12 mil, 14 mil. The pulley, the main pulley here, the main crank pulley here, that's a 7/8. And you might need the odd 8 mil and 8 millimeter for the cam bolts covers here. And then I believe the cam bolts themselves, which is the toughest part of all of this, is getting these cam pulleys off, stripping them. Those ones are a 10 mil Allen socket or an Allen key. So without further ado, okay, so I don't have a procedure that I can necessarily tell you on what to do with this. All I basically do is start going around disconnecting the connectors. I'm trying to separate the harness from the intake. I'm just going to try to focus on connectors right now. Just repeat what I did over here on the other side. Well, I found something interesting while taking off the 12 mil bolts for the intake. Now there's an upper and a lower part, and I've decided I was going to try to take them off together, just so I don't have to separate the fuel rail from the upper part. Well, in my doing so, there are supposed to be 4 bolts holding this down. This one is much shorter than that one. And as you can see, this one's been rusted. It was put together like that. I'm very surprised this did not have a boost leak. And if it did, it didn't present itself. So I guess I'm going to have to see in my spare parts bins if I have one of these. And then once we have this off, we'll see how much of a jerk this is going to be to get the rest of it out. So we'll jump ahead to after I have this out. All right, now we have the intake off. Now I decided to take the base off with the top, and I ran into some issues with the bolts. So that came off fairly easily. One bolt did break. This one was broken already, as you can tell by the rust. All of the bolts holding that down were stretched, madly stretched. So I need a whole new set. I should have a set in there. But yeah, next, what I'm actually mostly worried about is this is what happened on my 2011 STI. These crossover bolts snapped. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen here, and then we can take that off. And after we take that off, we'll take our turbo off, and then our timing set, and then we'll flip our engine over. So we got the crossover tube off. All the bolts survived, luckily. This was the original issue I thought we had here, which is our O-rings being bad. You can see it was leaking here and a little bit over here. So both sides were leaking. It could have caused our symptom, but the engine is out. We might as well go the whole distance now that we're here. All right, so we got this off, turbo came off. Next, I think what I'm going to do is turn it over and get our pipe, our manifold off, and our up pipe. I already have this bolt, this nut off of here, so this can come off. And then once that is off, we will do our timing set. Okay, I think I'm going to call it for the night. Probably take off this last valve cover here. But as you saw when I was taking this timing set apart, I do have the tool for the intake cam, but I don't have the tool for the bottom one. So an old trick is to take an old belt. So that is an old belt I have from another car. My good belt is there. Take that old belt, wrap it around here, and then you can wrap it around and back on itself, clamp it with some vice grips, and then usually that's enough to get those off. Those 10 mil Allen keys can be very picky, and they can strip, so be careful with that. Okay, so it's the next day after work, and I actually have a mic on. This is my buddy Trey.
I'm the half guy.
He's the other half.
I'm the other half.
To this,
we're co-parenting.
Co-parenting. So to this, I did some work. I took off the cams. That's how you get to the head bolts on these, and these are usually very, very tough to get off. This one takes a little bit of effort, but I did crack that one free. I went to crack the one in the middle off, which should be, the middle one should be the tightest. And this is how loose it is. How this thing ran and did not create a coolant milkshake is mind-boggling. I can't. It's speechless. It's full of surprises. Every other bolt has been torqued incorrectly. So,
do you think these heads are warped?
These heads might be very warped. So we're going to keep breaking these free and take this cylinder head off and see what we see, and then we'll do the same on the other side. But this was definitely rebuilt in someone's basement.
Kind of like how we're doing it right now.
But by someone who knows less.
Yeah.
I'm not tooting my own horn, but damn.
We don't point fingers.
We just discover other people's errors and make fun of them later.
All right. So we got all the loose bolts cracked even looser. And we're just about ready to pull the head off.
Here, you know what? We're all loose.
Yeah, use the gun. Get the gun out there. Rise.
No, it's Arise. You don't get that. It's an anime.
Yeah, I don't watch anime.
Arise. See, that is bone dry. This is not how you install your bolts.
Good thing I ordered head bolts.
Yeah. Just leave them in there. I was just going to pull it off like this. Oh. Leave it in there like that. We'll save us the space. They were put in not correctly. Like, that shouldn't be like that. If you want to clear a spot.
All right, there's EJ parts all over the place.
I know. That back cylinder number, what is it, number 4?
I know. I hope to God those heads aren't too warped.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to hurt it. For now, I'll take them outside and finish them up out there, because I got to get the welder on the top of that to get the bolt. But all right, let's do some learning. You can see on this head gasket, all the black around in this area, that's all combustion gas getting into these holes here, which is coolant. This hole is oil. All these holes around here are coolant, and that is why we were overflowing.
I'm not a professional, but I think that's due to loose head bolts.
You might be onto something. Like, that is bad. That's crazy.
I wonder how long it ran like that.
I don't think the guy we bought it off of even touch the engine. So he said 50,000 kilometers might have been done. So 50,000 K.
That's wild.
Alrighty, this is gonna make a mess. Maybe move this over.
Head 1 officially off. HOOO, as James Pumphrey would say.
Yeah, the firing.
Putting these gaskets.
Where is this? Where am I putting them?
Yeah.
In the bin.
In the
Or in the
bin.
coolant.
In the bin.
That's Mighty Car Mods. In the bin. Anyway, yeah, that's that. Cylinder heads are off. Next thing to do is take apart. Take out these little dowels. I usually use a socket for that and some vice grips, very gently, not to destroy them. We'll take off our mounts after, and then we'll just sand the block. I also have a flat bar that goes across and some micrometers or feeler gauges that we check the flatness of it. And if it's too warped, well then we'll probably put it back together anyway and see how it goes.
Hey, we paid $1,500 for this car. Nobody really gives a shit whether it's.
I mean, I
perfect or
care
not.
a little bit.
I would like to, yeah. I mean, I want to bring this up north, but.
Let's level her out. Look at that! All right, I think that's all I'm going to do for today because the next part needs supreme focus and accuracy. So yesterday, I completely forgot to record. We completely blanked on it. So we have these heads off, and what we do after that is we use a flat bar and some feeler gauges to check for the spec on it to see if it's warped or twisted, and everything checked out. So that wasn't an issue, surprisingly, with what we found with the cylinder head bolts not being tight. After that, all we did was scuff it up to get rid of, I shouldn't say scuff it up, we just got rid of any of the leftover head gasket material or anything on the cylinder head, and then put in our new head gaskets. And to do that, what the guy did, or rather what he didn't do, this unknown owner before the owner we bought it off of, there's a tightening sequence. You're meant to tighten it with a torque wrench. I think it's 22 foot-pounds in a certain order. It's like the middle two to start and then crossing after that. You're meant to do 21, then 20 or 51 foot-pounds, and then you loosen it off 180 and then 180 again. Then you tighten it down to 36 foot-pounds, and then all the bolts are turned another 90 degrees additionally, and then another 45 degrees, and then the middle two are then torqued again another 45 degrees. And if I can find it in my mess down here, we just use a little angle finder, which we have on a bar here, and you just use one of these things here. It's a 14 mil 12-point socket, and then one of these guys, and you just go in here under your bolts, hooks onto the outside, and then you torque them. Having another person help you is sometimes necessary because the stands can be a little bit wobbly. But yeah, so that's just to catch you up because we completely blanked on doing any recording. We were doing this until about 10 o'clock last night after we got home from work. He came over and he gave me a hand. So here's where we are. Next up is cleaning up this here mating surface. I'm going to have to put some silicone on these surfaces here.
so that we can put the cam in and put the cam, let's call it a cam girdle, or the caps over top of that.
Okay, we're on the garage. The motor made it out in the garage. We lugged it up the stairs. We're going to be assembling it, doing timing stuff here, and then putting it in the car and running it today. Whether we'll do it or die. But crossover's got to go on, mount's got to go on. I just installed this water pump down here, and once we get this all dressed up and the front and timing cover on, we'll hang it and put our clutch and everything back on and put her in there.
It is 9:39 in the morning.
And it's negative 22.
Saturday, February 7th.
Yeah.
This motor is going to be running at noon or 1. Mark my.
All right. We'll get back to you when it's noon. Okay, so we didn't get the time lapse we tried to do that. It got too cold. The phone died.
We also didn't make our lunch hour deadline.
Not even close. We're sitting at 4:30. Everything on this, let's just call it everything, had to be corrected or changed or replaced. We had to change out. I'm lucky I had a spare one of the cam sprockets. This one's too badly damaged. It's got a bunch of teeth. But yeah, as you can see, clutch is on. Rear main seal was changed because it was installed incorrectly and leaking everywhere. O2 sensor had to be changed because it had some green wires that were probably going to fail. So snagged that off the other STI.
Our ground
was changed because it broke. Long story short, we're ready to go in. Hopefully this doesn't take us longer as long as it took me to get it out of here, but
we're gonna be fine.
Fingers crossed.
We got a half an hour to get it running.
Yeah. All right, moment of truth here. We're gonna try to turn it over. It's gonna start, but we've got oil in it. No coolant yet, but it's got oil. Okay, here we go. Neutral. We got that. Hell yeah. It's no worse than it was before. It's going. Let it run here for another 30 seconds and then we'll fill it with coolant and check our oil. Thank you for watching this far. If you have, like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps us out. We're going to continue on with this build, if you will, this low budget build. There is still more to the story, and we're hoping to have another video out. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.